Hello and welcome to Nellie's Hobbies. I'm Heather Forgan. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I want to very quickly show you a prize that I received from my upline. This was a prize for a challenge that she had set the team, and I was very lucky to win one of the two project kits. This is a Colour Me Happy kit, and as you can see there's a beautiful stamp set. Love these cute little birds. Lanterns that probably would have been quite handy for Chinese New Year. But this flower is beautiful. Celebrate, so happy for you, oh hello and thank you. You can never have too many stamp sets that say thank you. So as I say, this is a kit, and the kit will allow you to make these cards here. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it, and together we can see exactly what's in here. So bear with me while I rattle, get my snips and open this. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. Obviously very well wrapped. We've got little stars and little sequins in there. Tassels, how gorgeous are they? Shiny gold tape. Some Whisper White baker's twine. These envelopes are beautiful. Love them. So we've got 4 of those ones. 4 of these ones again with that gold trim. Beautiful. We've got 4 of these ones, and obviously 4 of these ones as well. So obviously this kit makes 16 cards, 4 of each of the 4 designs. So we've got lots of bits to make up these. We have these lanterns ready to be coloured with Stampin Blends, and we've got the card bases here, some banners, gold bits and bobs. So these ones obviously go with the pink envelopes. Beautiful cards. I love that it's the same design front and back for each of those 4 different designs. And we've got more of the bits and pieces that we need to make this card. We've got that bit that we can cut into a banner, that bit, and we've got all of the little bits of white card ready to be stamped with the thank yous and the birds, and all the rest of these bits with that flower that'll go onto these bits here. Looks a fabulous kit. Can't wait to get started. I'll come back soon and show you what I've made. Bye. Hi there, I'm back. I've started playing with my Colour Me Happy project kit, and I've actually decided to start with this card here. There are instructions inside for each of the 4 different cards on exactly what steps you need to do. There is also a video on YouTube in the Stampin' Up channel, so you could have a search for that as well if you wanted to make this kit. Now, as you'll see, I've already started. I used the flower stamp with Memento Ink because I knew I wanted to use the Stampin Blends. Now, the Stampin Blends are alcohol markers, so you need to use an ink that is water-based so that it doesn't kind of bleed. The reason I went ahead and stamped first is you do need to let the Memento ink actually dry properly before you start using the blends, because otherwise it will actually drag that colour from the black ink, and it will make it kind of look a bit grey, especially when I'm using such a light colour as this light pink pirouette pen. So as you'll see, I've already started doing some of the colouring on this. There are two ends to the Stampin Blends. This one that's the kind of bullet end, and then you've also got this one, which is the brush end. Now this is the lighter one, so basically all I'm doing is flooding this with the colour. I'm going close to the edge, but not right up to the edge. The reason for that being is that it does spread a little bit, and you don't want it going over the edge, obviously. I am, however, just going over that bit in the middle there, just to make sure it's got a nice full colour on it. As you'll see, I've stamped some of the flowers in full, but then I've kind of taken some of them off the edge as well. You don't want to just have flowers, full flowers right in the middle. You kind of want to have a bit of contrast there. Okay, so you can just use the one colour if you want to do that, and maybe just keep going over bits because it is such a light colour, just to make little bits slightly darker. With alcohol pens, you want to make sure that you put the lid back on them pretty quickly because you don't want them drying out. I'm using this end just to put a little bit of colour around and about where I think there would be shadow. So obviously these leaves are underneath those ones, so you would kind of think there would be a little bit of shadow there. Just put a little bit of that colour in, and then come back in with your lighter one just to blend it, as the name suggests. And then you don't get quite such a harsh distinction between the dark and the light on there. Just put that back on. So I'll just do the same quickly with this one. This end's great when you're covering a larger area as well, but because it does have a nice thin brush end to it, it's pretty precise as well. There's no real right or wrong to where you put your extra bit of colour. You maybe don't want to do them all exactly the same, because in reality, in nature, no two flowers are exactly the same. It does kind of dry a little bit lighter as well once the alcohol is evaporated off the card. So this is the card base that this is going to go on. So I'll just show you the picture again. It's that one there that we're making. That's obviously your coordinating colour of the envelope. However, that's not the envelope that we're actually going to be using for this one. It's the light pink one, because that's obviously the wrong size. It's that one that we're going to be using, which coordinates with that pink pirouette that we've used for the flower there. We also want to add some of this gold tape. And clearly I should have prepared this earlier because I can't find the end of it. Nope, it doesn't want to come. Okay, so you want to make sure that you've got that corner there and lined up along the bottom there. Oops, stuck that down. Just double check that's where I want to be. Okay, and then I can just trim that with my snips so that it's in line with my card, like that, and then I can put my adhesive on the rest of this piece here. So I've got that lovely gold tape lined up there. Just need to trim that a little bit. With that. Now the next piece that we need to put on is this banner piece there that we want to stamp with the "So Happy For You." Now the best way to do that is to stamp it while it's still in there, rather than taking the piece out of there. You want to stamp it while it is still in there. Now we want the banner to be pointing towards the flowers there. Now I'm actually going to use the rich raspberry ink because that's the same colour as the card base. Let's check that that's okay. So Happy For You. And I just want to get it roughly in the middle, like that. You only have 4 of these cards to make, but you've got 6 of the banner, so if you do go a bit squint or you smudge it or whatever, then you've got other ones that you can play with. You've got some spares. Okay, so that is going to sit over there, and I'm just going to fold that better with my folder. And I need a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals for this. There we go. I want to line that up with the edge there, making sure that it's parallel with that there. So Happy For You, and the last finishing touch on that would be just to add some of the sequins that I showed you in the little bag earlier, just dotted around about there. Well, that tape was a little bit more tricky than I thought it would be, but we got there in the end. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi there, I'm back with another part of the Colour Me Happy project kit. This time we're going to be looking at the thank you card. In the last one that we made, which I just finished off with the sequins on there, we used the Stampin Blends in Pink Pirouette. This one calls for the Stampin Blends in Night of Navy, in Pool Party, and in Pumpkin Pie. As with the last one, I've already gone ahead and stamped using the Memento ink pad, and again it's best to stamp while they're actually still attached in there. Just makes life a little bit easier, although with this one you've got much more room because it's a much bigger stamp, and you've got more white space round about it. So I've already made a start with the Pool Party pen and also the Night of Navy. Now I've used the darks of each of these rather than the lighter versions of them. That's just my preference. These will go on this card with this banner accent as well, and that's the envelope to match this card. So I'll just continue and finish off doing the colouring on this. As I say, I'm using the dark Pool Party on the top part, with the dark Night of Navy underneath. Now I'm also still using the brush part there because it is pretty narrow at some points, and I like the point on this. It just gives a better definition and a bit more control from my point of view. Again, it seems to be a matter of choice really, which end you use. Either way, it does give a nice smooth coverage. You don't really get lines as you do with other colouring tools. But obviously if you do go over the same bit more than others, it will look darker in that area where you've gone over a few times because you're building that colour up a little bit. I've just gone over there, which isn't great, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm just colouring in these little bits in Pumpkin Pie, and again I've gone with the darker version there, and it just gives that nice little accent in there. So we're just going to pop that bit out because this is the card that we're making. I'll take one of these card blanks, use my bone folder, make sure I've got a nice crisp fold on that. Now I'm going to use it this way as a tent fold card, but you could use it that way as a kind of standard side opening card if you prefer to do that. I'm just going to use snail, or I would have if it hadn't just run out. So I'll switch to the old faithful fast fuse instead. Oops, and I'm making a right mess with that. I just want to make sure I've got that reasonably equal on each side and straight. There we go. And I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals again on this. you'll see once you've done the colouring on this, which is fairly easy to do, this one is a real quick and easy one to put together, because your gold accent's already on your die cut piece there. Again, just want to make sure that you've got it roughly even in the middle, and straight would be a good idea. There we go. Another little card complete. So that's 2 out of the 4 completed. I will come back in another video and show you the other 2, and then I will also show you some alternatives rather than just making things exactly as per the kit. Thanks for joining me. Bye.